Here's a quote for you. "Give us the tools and we'll finish the job a lot faster." That's Prime Minister Netanyahu's message to President Biden. He's blaming the White House for holding up arms sales to Israel.
Well, the administration claims it's not stalling any shipments. Yet one Republican leader says the president is playing politics with Israel's security. CBN's Julie Stahl has more.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he thanked U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken for U.S. support during his recent visit, but also mentioned a holdup in weapons.
I said it's inconceivable that in the past few months, the administration has been withholding weapons and ammunition to Israel. Israel, America's closest ally, fighting for its life, fighting against Iran and our other common enemies.
Blinken admits the U.S. briefly held up one shipment of weapons, but says others are in process and said the U.S. is committed to Israel's security.
We have a commitment to make sure that Israel has what it needs to defend itself against a whole variety of threats. Gaza is part of it, but it far surpasses Gaza in terms of the threats they face.
Behind the scenes, the White House reportedly is furious over Netanyahu's comments. Axios reports it canceled a high-level meeting with Israeli officials over long-term Iran policy. However, the Wall Street Journal reports a holdup in the sale of 50 F-15 fighter jets approved last month. Some Democrats in Congress are pressuring the president to withhold U.S. weapons to force a peace deal. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is blaming election year politics for interfering with Israel's right to defend itself.
It needs the freedom to operate on its own timetable based on tactical reality in the Middle East, not on the political winds in Washington.
Netanyahu says if Israel has what it needs, the war will go faster.
During World War II, Churchill told the United States, "Give us the tools, we'll do the job." And I say, give us the tools and we'll finish the job a lot faster.
The controversy happening as Israel faces an increased threat from Iranian-backed Hezbollah on its northern border. U.S. envoy Amos Hochstein traveled from Israel to Beirut as he meets with officials in an effort to prevent an all-out war between the two sides. Tuesday, Hezbollah released drone footage showing targets deep inside Israel, including Haifa Bay, and military targets in civilian areas in what Israelis see as a clear signal of its intentions. Meanwhile, the IDF says its top generals in the north approved its operational plans for an offensive in Lebanon against Hezbollah. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, it's unfortunate this war has just begun. Hamas kicked it off on October 7th. If they would only surrender, if they would only release the hostages, then Israel will absolutely stand down in Gaza, and this thing could end today. But then, in southern Lebanon, the UN has completely wasted its opportunity to keep that safe zone. That was part of the deal when Israel withdrew from southern Lebanon, that the UN would make sure there aren't any weapons there. Well, we're clearly seeing there are a lot of weapons there. They're all being used by Hezbollah, and the UN is doing nothing. What do you expect Israel to do? It has to defend its territory. We need to stand with